every movie and every TV show that's existed in the past several decades in the American media. And I want to say they're all psyops. I made a passing remark in a video a couple days ago when I was actually talking about TV shows randomly. This is very uncharacteristic for me. I don't review media. But I made a passing remark that Game of Thrones is obviously a big psyop, like a giant psyop. Whether it means to be or not, it is accidentally a psyop. And some people ask me, what do you mean by that? I understand what you mean. Like, I get it. There's something weird about that show, and there's something weird about shows and movies just in general in America. Mostly because everyone kind of hates them. Like, people hated the way Game of Thrones ended. They hate that. Like, there are a lot of movies nowadays that critics just love, and they're so popular, and they're memed in public, and everyone seems to hate them. What's going on with that? And my answer is actually not. A lot of people might assume it's something narrowly political. I think it's much wider than that. I mean, that's part of it, but I think the way to think of it is that American movies, and this, of course, has spread to movies made in other countries that are kind of under the thumb of America, but American movies and TV shows in general are about, they're about being sordid. They're about being corrupt. They're about putting nastiness in your face, violence in your face, sex in your face, for multiple reasons. One, I guess, get a kind of edgy reaction from you. But also I don't know, create a new vision of what society should be like or what it is like, even if it is directly contrary to your experience. So here's an interesting fact to think of, okay? So if you poll kids nowadays, or kids, like, I mean, this has really always been true, but if you poll kids in high school or kids in college, and you ask them questions like, how many of people your age, or how many people in your class or whatever, do you think are partying over the weekends, or taking lots of drugs, or getting drunk, or having sex, or any of this kind of stuff? The one interesting thing about polls like this is that kids will always drastically overestimate how much their friends are engaging in various degenerate behaviors, be that having taking drugs, having promiscuous sex, all this kind of stuff, right? So they will drastically
Degenerate behavior?
the extent that other people do this.
I'm sorry,
right?
what?
Of their own age. And there are probably multiple reasons for that. One of it is just like the background radiation
I don't know
of
about
media,
that.
which is constantly, like, every movie is about this kind of stuff. Like, you can't have a movie nowadays that's just about normal people doing normal things. It all has to be hammed up. There has to be alcohol and sex and all this kind of stuff in it. That's just not, people cannot write normal plots anymore. You have to amp that kind of stuff up. But also, I think in particular, people are very afraid of seeming like dorks when they answer these things. When they say, you know what, I don't think people are actually doing that, because that makes them look like a dork because they're not doing it right. They're admitting that they're not. And it also makes them feel naive. In reality, they're not actually being naive. In reality, like, if you look at polls, in fact, not just that, like, kids, especially in America, they're doing so much less of this stuff. I mean, now everything is just, like, online anyway. Like, kids, like, I don't know, it's like they don't even have promiscuous sex anymore because we've moved on to more corrupt things that are just, using your cell phone. So all of that is the...
My god, this guy.
The 1918 Nobel Prize for Chemistry is